Celtic have received a formal offer for Arne Engels this evening, and the club who submitted it has not yet been named. Daizen Maida has also gone public with his Premier League ambitions in a way that will concern every Celtic supporter. On top of that, Martin O'Neill has confirmed an offer has been made to Kelechi Iheanacho, delivered a sobering Jota update, and a young striker from the academy is reportedly heading for Serie A. A lot happening this evening. Let's go. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Daizen Maida has gone public with his desire to play in the Premier League, making clear in a new interview that his ambition goes beyond what Celtic can offer him. Speaking on the Pivot podcast, the Japanese forward was open and direct about where his head is at. He said, "Since I went to Celtic, I became interested in the Premier League. I started watching a lot of Premier League games. I have a strong desire to play in the Premier League. I watch all the games. When I was in Japan, I didn't watch football at all. But when I went abroad, I was able to watch it in real time, so I naturally watched the Premier League." He went on to illustrate exactly how much watching top-level football has influenced his own game. He said, "I was watching Atletico's game and Griezmann scored a loop shot. The next day, I scored the same loop shot. So I thought it was important to watch football. I think the higher you go, the better you get." That final line says it all. Maeda is not a player who wants to stand still. Since arriving at Celtic, he has become a significantly more complete attacker. His finishing has improved, his decision-making has sharpened, and his work without the ball remains exceptional. He has won trophies and played Champions League football in Glasgow. But he clearly feels ready for the next challenge, and he has now said so publicly. No Premier League club has made an official move for him, and no transfer is imminent. But Celtic now know the player's thinking. O'Neill mentioned his future as an unsettling situation earlier this week. Now for the main story, as Celtic have received a formal offer for Arne Engels this evening, with Belgian outlet Voetbalkrant reporting that an unnamed club has submitted a bid for the 22-year-old midfielder. The identity of the bidding club has not been revealed. What is known is that the offer has landed, which marks a significant shift from the situation O'Neill described this morning, when he said he was expecting bids but nothing had arrived yet. This evening, that changed. The context behind this story matters enormously. In January, Nottingham Forest submitted 3 separate bids for Engels, with the final offer worth £20 million plus a further £5 million in add-ons. Celtic rejected every single one of them, with the club deciding there was too little time left in the window to find a worthy replacement. Forest walked away empty-handed. Now the summer window has months remaining. The clubs who were frustrated in January have had time to prepare, and the list of sides monitoring Engels is substantial. Voetbalkrant names Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Fulham, Roma, Atletico Madrid and Villarreal among the clubs credited with an interest. The Belgian report also suggests an agreement could be reached within the coming week, though that prediction should be treated with care given how these situations tend to develop. What is certain is that no offer has been accepted, no personal terms have been agreed, and no medical has been arranged. As of now, Engels remains a Celtic player under contract until the summer of 2028, and the club retain all the power in this negotiation. O'Neill spoke this morning about the importance of timing. He made clear that if a serious offer arrives early enough in the window for Celtic to plan around it. In other news, Martin O'Neill has confirmed this evening that Celtic have made a formal offer to Kelechi Iheanacho in an attempt to bring the Nigerian striker back to the club for next season. Speaking to the Daily Record, O'Neill said, "There's an offer there to him at this minute, so we'll see how that develops." That is a significant admission. Iheanacho is currently a free agent after his original Celtic contract expired at the end of June. The club had an option to automatically extend his deal by a further year, but chose not to trigger it before the deadline passed. That meant the two sides needed to start again with fresh negotiations, rather than simply rolling over the existing terms. On the surface, it might look like an awkward situation, but there is logic to Celtic's approach. By letting the option expire and renegotiating from scratch, the club can structure a new deal on their own terms, reflecting where Iheanacho is now as a player rather than the conditions agreed when he arrived in September 2025. There is genuine desire on both sides to make this work. Reports earlier this week indicated Iheanacho had turned down approaches from clubs in both Turkey and Qatar to remain available for Celtic. O'Neill has consistently spoken warmly about him, and the Nigerian's contribution at the end of last season, 6 goals in the final 9 matches and a goal in the Scottish Cup final against Dunfermline, gives everyone involved a clear reminder of what he can bring. The offer is now on the table. The decision is Iheanacho's. In other news, Martin O'Neill has delivered a frank and sobering update on Jota's injury recovery, warning that the Portuguese winger could be sidelined until Halloween despite now being due back at the club next week. Jota has been absent since suffering a serious knee injury against Dundee United in April 2025. That is over 15 months without competitive football. He has been carrying out part of his rehabilitation in his hometown, but is now set to return to Celtic's training facility on the Monday of next week, which will allow the medical team to get a closer look at where he stands. O'Neill was careful not to raise expectations. Speaking to the Daily Record, he said, "He's back with us on Monday week, but being back and being fit are two different things. I might be being conservative, it could be Halloween, but we will have a better idea. Remember, he's been doing this work in his hometown, and he's back here with us on Monday week, so the sooner we get him on the field, the better. He should be out on the grass. Yes, I think he is doing a little bit." He then addressed the reality of recovering from a cruciate injury directly. He said, "Again, out on the grass and doing straight line running for a cruciate, which I know myself because I did it, is different to doing twists and turns and stuff like this here. But he's been out a long time, and I think he feels as if it's doing fine." Lastly, Celtic Academy striker Philip Scorb could be on his way out of the club this summer, with Italian Serie A side Lecce reported to be very close to completing a deal for the 18-year-old. Journalist Lorenzo Lepore broke the story, claiming Lecce are leading the race to sign Scorb, with Austrian side Sturm Graz also competing for his signature. There has been no confirmation from Celtic or either interested club at this point, but the language around the Lecce interest is strong. Scorb is a Polish youth international at under-19 level, having previously represented Scotland at youth level before switching allegiance to Poland. He joined Celtic's academy from Portobello and signed his first professional contract with the club in 2024, with that deal understood to run until the summer of 2027. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.